despite bringing home the glory of winning the World Cup after 28 years, none of India's top international cricketers will get a shot at the prestigious Arjuna Award or the Rajiv Gandhi Khel Ratna Awards this year. Not because they don't deserve to, but because they're caught in the crossfire of a huge ego war. Sports Minister Ajay Makhan says the BCCI did not send them any names in time. This is something we reported, of course, to you first here yesterday. But now the BCCI has hit back. Well, the BCCI has completely rejected the defense given by the Sports Ministry. The BCCI claims that the Sports Ministry never informed it about forms for the Arjuna and Khel Ratna Awards. The Sports Ministry had earlier claimed that the forms were sent to the BCCI, but the BCCI was too busy with the IPL. The BCCI said that it was a fall by the pettiness of the Sports Ministry. And the blame game over why this happened is further straining the already tense relationship between the BCCI and the Sports Ministry. Meanwhile, the Sports Ministry in its defense says that the forms were available on their website and the BCCI was simply too busy administering the Indian Premier League. Irrespective of who is responsible, the fact is that sportspersons will not be getting their due because of this ego war between the Sports Ministry and the BCCI.
From now on, in fact, from the time Mahendra Singh Dhoni hit that six.
It was tough times, you know. There were times before batting I used to be very nervous and start vomiting, so just because of the World Cup. Because every Indian is expecting you to win. Every person in the media expecting you to win.
I do believe that as a public and as organized governments, we need to be unbiased. I do believe that. That I'll always say. We need to be unbiased. We should not be biased either towards cricket or towards any other sport when it comes out to rolling or selecting the athletes for the awards.
But though the politicians think nothing of denying worthy claimants their due in terms of honor and respect when it comes to them taking VIPs to take great umbrage when their own demands for respect and perks are impeded. Rasesh Mandani joins me live from Mumbai. Rasesh, it's the same old story, egos getting in the way, turf battles, pretty much putting paid to any chance of real deserving sportspersons getting honoured this year.
That's exactly the way it is, Shiv. There's no doubt about the fact that it's the crossfire between the BCCI and the Sports Ministry, because of which, cricketers who come up with a performance which the nation has been waiting for 28 years. India has won a Cricket World Cup after a space of 28 years, and then this year alone, a lot of deserving sportsmen, a lot of deserving cricketers would end up missing out. Take the case of someone like Yuvraj Singh. He came up with a performance of a lifetime. He's struggling with his health issues at the moment. We do not know what future holds for him, and it is the tussle between the two federations, because of which when he looks back at his awards cabinet, there would be no national awards that he has to boot because of this issue. Someone like Virat Kohli is clearly the outstanding one-day cricketer of his age at this point in time. He could not be nominated simply because the two federations decided to give their ego precedence over welfare of the sportsmen of which they are heading.
Rasesh, is it possible at this stage, I know this is difficult, but is it possible at this stage to actually pinpoint who is really responsible for this mess? Because it appears that both sides are washing their hands off the whole thing and saying the other side didn't do something that they were supposed to.
But there is no rule that the ministry has to send the forms across to the BCCI, but that has been the precedent, as the BCCI says in its release. It's probably a convention that the ministry informs each federation about it. The form also contains a letter of acceptance from the sportsman as well, from the cricketer in this case, which the BCCI can forward it to the cricketer. But it's probably the fact is that the tussle between the two parties over a period of time, which is now an open secret, has led to this situation. Even in the lower category, if you look at the other line of subordinates, there has been no line of communication between the two parties, because there is surely, if the two parties can leak out information to the media at this point in time, it could surely have been done a few weeks before the deadline if both the parties were serious about the cricketers not missing out at a year when they won the World Cup for India.
Just to be clear, Rasesh, there's nothing more that can be done as far as the Khel Ratna Awards are concerned for this year, right?
Well, that is, we would now to check the technicalities, but if it is a situation where the sports ministry can still work a way around things, that can still be done. If, there can be a line of communication established, and we gather that, there are higher echelons of the power of the government who are also, intervening to cool down waters between the two parties. If that can be done, then surely it's a case where, reserving Indian cricketers still do not miss out on the awards, because there has to be a line of communication that has to be established, and that has clearly not been done. That